Good afternoon. I'm Tool Time, joined by
Standby.
And today we're going to do a call for Great Britain versus Europe. Excellent games we've seen so far. Standby, what did he say?
Yeah, lots of quality derby played and to be played as we're reaching, well, not quite the halfway point yet in the schedule, but still, again, plenty to see. And if you missed it, then hopefully you can catch up here on Twitch live right here. And this is the first ever, first time Junior Roller Derby Association broadcasting on Twitch. Thank you for joining us and for staying with us all day long.
And for those staying with us all week long, joining us back when we were streaming the JRDA championships, thank you for joining us. And we keep in mind, we are still looking at the feed for the Twitch account chat. But right now, we have Team Europe going up against Great Britain. Europe getting a little excited before the game starts. And Team Great Britain getting rowdy in the stands just off turn 3. They are ready to go.
Rocking the boards and rocking the bleachers.
Absolutely. A lot of the visiting teams giving each other a lot of support. We'll see later off of turn 3 and 4. You got Team Australia, Canada, and Great Britain. Right now, we're ready, and it looks like I'm not going to guess. Yes, it is T-Breaks.
Yeah, we can say that much.
Yes.
But it is Europe with Lee Jam. And that is Duracell.
Duracell doing some impressive work against Team USA West in a house call that I did. Doing the same here, calls it. That looks like 3 on the board to me, Tommy.
Shout out to, yes, it is. And shout out to Tanya on Twitch. I will take that under advisement. 3 points for Europe. We're going to play 30-minute periods today, and if you haven't seen before, if you're just tuning in, 30-minute periods, everybody will or has played everybody, and the result of which will be taken into account when we do the seeding for the tournament that will be held tomorrow, same time, same place.
All right, and we're back. Jammers engaging in the pack. A penalty call. That's going to go up against Europe's blocker, but 2012 for Team Europe. That's Salty Siggy getting the lead jam. Second for Team Europe. Number 16 trying to find a hole on the outside. Australia not making it easy, and Great Britain has gone through the initial pass.
And good defense holding up the jammer that long, but call off just in time. However, no points to show for it this time.
And 0-1 for Europe taking
3 points.
Yes, 0-1 TNT taking the line for Team Europe.
Game after this will be Canada versus Australia at 2:36 Eastern, 6:36 GMT.
And we're off. And Great Britain getting your lead jam. Number 427, Boswin. Excellent work on that one.
And excellent defense, yes, up front. Now the blocker bridging, and now a more mixed pack as the jammer comes through and calls it with about 3 seconds to spare.
And that looks like 5 on the board. No, that's 4. Correction. Britain putting some points on the board. First time they've shut out Europe so far, but only 3 jams in.
Right, one of the closer games, one of the closer starts we've seen with 2.5 minutes gone.
And that looks like Duracell taking the line for Europe. And that looks like Skellabell taking the line for Great Britain. Excellent outside blocking. Recycle to the back.
Yeah, neither jammer having an easy go at it except when Duracell passed the pack for lead jam. Second attempt on that one.
Correction, that is Giraffic Jam, number 8. My apologies.
Well, you know, you don't see the neck yet, but.
5 points.
Yes, grand slam it is. All 3 announcers all together.
And we have a penalty called. That looks like it's on Europe's jammer. I can't quite see the call, but that's going to make this a power jam for Great Britain.
Right, either way, 30 seconds to score as much as they can here.
And we will be going the full 2 minutes with 1 minute left on the jam clock. Excellent work by Giraffic Jam, putting 5 on the board.
I'm told, thank you, Giraffic Jam, given the name because of the legs. Much as Legs Are Us used to use Jeffrey the Giraffe as an inspiration, if you remember that.
Absolutely. You see a lot of similarities out here. Some of these names actually look familiar from what we see stateside with Great Britain and Europe going against each other. Europe with its jammer out of the box and ready to re-engage just off of 4.
And on the outside of the pack, we see 101 TIE Fighter, one of the junior referees in the JRDA.
And we have a lead change for Great Britain, putting 15 on the board this jam. Impressive work, but Europe not out of this yet with Duracell.
Absolutely not. Only a 2-point difference in the points scored. A cut track, however, on the on Giraffic Jam, that is, and that will be a power start as the jam ends and time pauses in the penalty box between jams.
And a 15 to 16 point jam, Europe regaining the lead, but it was tied for a moment. Britain with their jammer in the penalty box.
Thank you once again to Meg for watching, joining us on Twitch. 2022 2-point game. That was a tie jam. And the power start for Europe. On the inside, it is 888, no limit. Or is it new limit? N-O-U.
I was calling new limits. No one from Europe corrected me, so fortunately that works out for me. Meantime, Britain bringing their jammer back in, taking off the helmet cover, finding a hole on the inside, and through the initial pass.
And new limit through. That U has to stand for something. Both of us being from the southern U.S., you know.
Yes, we have issues with some names, but fortunately there are people watching Team Europe on the Twitch account could give us some help. But in the meantime, 5 points for Europe on that one, getting a lead again with just under 24 minutes left in this game.
Right, Team Great Britain, 8 of the skaters from Newborn or Eastbourne Roller Derby. And
TNT taking the line for Europe.
Team Great Britain with just 2 jams in which they have scored. And a cut track on the Britain jammer.
And that's Rachel. Britain sending another blocker to the penalty box. That's going to work out for TNT, getting your lead jam.
Great Britain blockers ready were in the front. Europe playing a modified passive offense, and it worked this time, 5 points.
Jammer standing in, re-engaging in the pack as Europe forms a strong tripod. Excellent recycling, bringing back behind turn 1.
That pivot staying in play, 2708, the Naki boy.
An excellent work by TNT just off of turn 3. Powers through, putting another 5 points on the board, 10 total for Europe. And TNT calls it after putting 10 points on the board for Europe, giving them a 17-point lead. And standby, do we have on the feed, it looks like we have some corrections on new.
Yeah, new limit's legal name is Nordjana, spelled or pronounced Nordjana.
And
Nordjana.
That's from Mum, so thank you, Mum, for all the help. All right, Salty Siggy going up against Marnie Movova. Marnie Movova for Great Britain, getting your lead jam.
I love the creative names that we see in Junior Derby.
Absolutely.
and G-rated at that.
Absolutely. Although I was slightly hoping in my heart of hearts to have 2 skaters for Team Britain, one named Wallace, one named Gromit, and it looks like we have a cover pass. That's going
one thing
off
we do
to the
have.
pivot.
And blocker for Great Britain standing in the box.
Yes, and number 7, Killer Sushi, with a successful cover pass. Sushi doing a great job early on this tournament, putting some points on the board against U.S. West, if I remember correctly. No points on that one, but Britain putting 5 on.
That's right, 37-25 with those 5 points added, and under 21 minutes to go in the period. One blocker each in the box. The Great Britain blocker is standing. 8 versus 8, 88. That would be no
limits. And Giraffic Jam with your lead jam.
And illegal contact call. And we have number 72 and number 11 for Europe in the penalty box. Duracell and Nutter, and one more Europe blocker called for destroying the pack, and not quite penalty trouble as one blocker is released, but the pivot again for Great Britain in the penalty box as well.
Excellent recycling by number 66 for Europe. Little Demon holding up Great Britain's jammer. Jam is called, and what a jam it was.
For Junior Roller Derby, those of you asking or wondering, for Junior Roller Derby, there are a couple of minor modifications, mainly administrative in nature, as far as the rules of gameplay. The rules we follow are the WFTDA adopted rules of modern roller derby, flat track roller derby, that is.
And it looks like our producer's giving us a note. Meanwhile, we have T brakes on for Great Britain.
And that is a note. 26 versus 01.
That's TNT for Team Europe, getting your lead jam.
Dynamite in the fight. And almost a power load ready to explode if, let's see, half-lap lead here, perhaps to score and call it, as is textbook derby.
Did I just hear you bust a rhyme? I think you accidentally like Dr. Seuss there for a minute.
Well, nothing that we haven't heard on a classic rock radio station before.
43-33,
2 points scored by Europe.
And Monowich taking the line for Team Europe
against Rachel.
Excellent effort by the announcers on this one and our producers helping us out. Both teams at full strength, just a 10-point difference with just over 18 minutes left in this game.
And the drawback, and Europe with lead jam.
And yes, we have a high block against Britain's blocker. That's going to send them to the penalty box. 16 trying to make something happen off of turn 2, but excellent recycling and tripod from Team Europe.
A cover pass. But 2 blockers make that 3 blockers total in the penalty box, as Monowich ready to score again. However, Rachel threw the pack on the initial pass.
And I believe that might have been a stash, because both pivots and jammers are still in play. There's a lot happening here, so we thank the Twitch TV for catching it on camera, and we thank our staff for helping keep us up to date.
9-2, net 7 for Europe on that one. And we have a timeout, but 52-35, 17-19 unofficially to go in the period.
And for those of you just joining us, I'm Tool Time, and joining me is Standby. We're at the JRDA World Cup here in wonderful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This, for us and all the announcing staff, is day 4 of roller derby, and we are loving every minute of it, as are these young athletes out here, because I am determined to take out kids when talking about these athletes, because there are no kids on this track all weekend.
No baby goats at all. These are 100% human, awesome, young youth athletes seen in this game, and when they age out, as we say, oftentimes showing up the adults in their respective adult leagues.
Absolutely. With just here on our side of the pond with Team USA East and West, we see all of those teams that those skaters are working with gaining great advantages off of junior roller derby. And that looks like Duracell taking the line for Europe.
Against 427 Boswin.
Europe with your lead jam, and Britain sending a blocker to the penalty box. One standing for Britain, rejoining the pack.
And scoring past 2 blockers up front, and able to dodge that for a 5-point scoring pass. However, Boswin threw on the initial.
Excellent inside swipe. Duracell gets the points, calls it, holds Great Britain to 0 while putting another 4 on the board.
That's right, 9 total, and a little celebration at the end of that on the edge of the track.
And with the score currently 61-35, we did have a tie game at one point, but that has changed in Europe's favor, but there's still 16 minutes to go.
Salty Siggy set to jam against Giraffic Jam. And Salty Siggy drawn back and close to a track cut, but nothing doing, as if you come back in ahead of a skater who you did not legally pass, then you will be called out. That is what we call a track cut or a cut track. Cutting the track to be legal. And through with lead is Giraffic Jam. And there's a star pass to 888, No Limit. Oh, excuse me.
New limit.
Yeah. Scoring pass by both, one in progress and one scored for Europe.
Excellent job by No Limit, who's been an excellent point scorer today. I almost said Sunday, but it is in fact Monday.
It is a new week of roller derby right here in suburban Philadelphia, Feasterville. 7-4. As here in Feasterville, have you had your fill of roller derby yet?
I sure haven't. I can go back for seconds, and I get that chance tomorrow when we have the World Cup bracketed after this round robin to get seed.
Net 3 for Great Britain is the key on the last jam. And on the inside, there's the key to lead jam for TNT.
Europe sending a blocker to the penalty box. Britain with one sitting in theirs.
Yeah, through on the initial. T breaks coming up right there. And met in the back.
That's 665 for Europe, doing a great job recycling Great Britain's jammer.
However, number 6 called out in all that. That is Chloe, and 2 blockers in the penalty box for Europe, and 1, number 12, Jazz, for Great Britain.
And those of you who saw on the left-hand side of the screen, we did just have a jammer high five. Excellent sportsmanship by both sides as we take this official timeout.
Number 72 for Europe, Duracell, will jam against number 6. We don't have a 6, but we will we'll confirm that momentarily following the official timeout. 4-3, net 1 for Europe in the last jam. 69-45 with 13:43 to go. Still in the roller derby sense, an awfully close game.
Absolutely, and if you're enjoying this game, be sure to let us know on the stream chat on twitch.tv /WFTDA. In the meantime, Europe with your lead jam.
Great Britain has used their timeout. They still have an official review. Europe has 1 timeout and 1 official review. Both jammers through.
And a full penalty box, number 808. Hasta la vista, army of 1 out there as number 31 for Europe, Monowich.
Yep, that was a track cut, so we have a Rachel power jam. However, Duracell was lead jammer, so this jam will go the full 2-minute time limit.
And that can definitely work in Great Britain's favor. They made excellent use of it last time. 5 points on the board with Rachel. And we have a forearm call. That looks like on 0-2 for Great Britain. Dixon. Britain down 1 blocker. Jammer standing and back in, number 72, Duracell.
And the copper top is dropped. But back up and fighting, 3 blockers, almost centipede formation. And through, that is a scoring pass, 4 points. Chambers pick up where they left off when they leave the penalty box, and a block on that inside opening.
And we heard a whistle, but it wasn't against Europe's jammer, but Britain sending 1 to the penalty box. That's a 5-point jam for Europe.
10 seconds to go.
And Britain sending their blocker to the penalty, their jammer to the penalty box for a head block, I think.
That's right. One of those things we take seriously, and even more now, knowing what we do about
brain injuries.
Yeah.
And with JRDA putting skater safety first and foremost for every skater here, it doesn't matter what's going on. It could be the championship game. If a skater is down for longer than a few seconds, they will call it and get that tended to right away.
And the thing is that the blocking with the head or leading with the head, just like any other penalty, usually not a gross thing. Usually it's just what happens in the confines of a sport like this on quad skates with all the people all around and the floors and all that. Nacky boy, lead jam.
Rachel for Great Britain.
Ooh.
Still sitting in the penalty box. Europe taking excellent advantage of that.
Stood up on that block and checking the face shield, but okay, 5 points scored.
And Rachel standing in the penalty box and released. Re-engages against a strong 3-person wall just off of turn 1.
Yeah, number 3 there. He's looking for a track cut, but good track awareness by Nacky Boy once again.
Yes, but as we've said, if you aren't wearing zebra stripes, you don't get to call the penalties. That is for the zebras. But if you do think that they are missing a lot, or that you think you could do better, I assure you there are plenty of ref jerseys available at sporting goods stores, and there are plenty of opportunities not just for skaters playing right now, but for refs to learn the game as well.
That's right, and to frame that positively, if you would like to become if you're interested in becoming a member of a local roller derby team, do Google that right now. Find out where your nearest adult roller derby or junior roller derby team is, and contact them. No doubt, looking for referees, officials, skaters,
and
any
announcers.
Given time. Yeah, that too.
We had a successful cover pass off to T-breaks, I believe, just before the jam was called.
Number 8 versus 888 this time.
It's too bad that Bobby Narco isn't here. He would love this one, especially with Scolabel and No Limit if they're out there, both at 888.
He plays poker with the skater numbers, I noticed.
Duracell, excellent point made on the stream. Duracell, very effective and someone I'll be keeping my eye on in future roller derby events.
Blackland Randy Devils from Belgium. And lead jam, No Limit. And through on the inside, opening and offense there for the scoring pass. And the call off. Oh, and a ref bump.
Excellent. No, not an excellent hit. That
Everyone's
was a
okay.
direction against number 42, I believe. But unfortunately, Europe with a full penalty box, so she'll have to stay out until there's room in the penalty box.
The referee is okay, so is the skater. That is not one of those actionable offenses, though any other time you bump into a referee, perhaps so. 2012 to play 143. That is Salty Siggy and Marnie Mulova.
Both blockers from Europe back engaged in the pack. Europe still down one blocker.
Skater down on the outside, adjusting a skate.
Yes, it looks like an equipment malfunction. The ref's trying to signal to clear the outside lane. Salty Siggy still trying to make something happen. Forearm called against the pivot for Europe.
That is
going to the penalty box.
That is 2 blockers, now 1. Now another one coming in. Europe, a revolving door in the European portion of the penalty box.
And as you said earlier, there, I believe only 4 penalties until you're out. I could be wrong.
Correct.
But we had...
And a misconduct penalty.
Yes. Still trying to see... Yes. The answer is yes. A lot happening as we're talking about Europe's penalty situation.
5 Belgian, 5 French, some from Denmark, we think. Someone says in the feed. I believe you're right. We haven't met all the skaters yet. We've run into a few in our travels around Philadelphia and kind of milling about earlier today, but good to see Europe representing.
Absolutely. And we see on the left-hand side a friendly handshake between jammers.
17 big points scored for Great Britain in that previous jam as Monowich comes out. However, it is lead jam 4-2-7 Boswin. And through on the initial, but not before cutting track, is Monowich, so this will be a power jam.
And I'm sure that suits Boswin just fine with...
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Excellent.
The Europe blockers were engaged, and there was that opening. You saw it. Oh, swings out, and they draw back, and everyone's staying upright, at least.
4 points on the board for Great Britain on that pass. Jammer standing for Europe.
I wish this game was 60 minutes, this particular period. This is exciting stuff. As Jammer will return to play, you'll see Monowich in your picture right now.
Well, if you want 60-minute roller derby, you can tune in tomorrow as the brackets are put in after today, where we'll be here on twitch.tv showing you the conclusion of JRDA World Cup.
Could be a rematch depending on the seating. Out of play block or out of play call. No, an ejection actually. No, okay.
It looked to be a direction. I could be wrong.
Was that direction?
There was a penalty. That's what happened.
Well, we know there is a track cut, and we're waiting on someone to leave the track, and that is the pivot.
And yes, no, that is there's a lot happening.
That was a cut. It was the pivot. The pivot had the star, however, an illegal star pass. So the pivot had to give the star back and then head to the box. Well, that's a few things in a row.
Yep, that was fun.
Well, 14 points plus, there's 5 on that last pass. Okay.
Yes, our producer, Deathnella, letting us know that there was a foul out. Europe definitely in trouble with penalties as we have the last 4 minutes, and we have seen a couple of lead changes here.
Right, and just 107-88, 14 important points. Important for winning this game. 14-2, net 12 for Great Britain. The the gesture for ejection, similar to, well, either way, there's a skater out of the game.
The important thing is that this shot that we just had here, both teams giving each other a hug, keeping each other calm, because when you get super heated, we're just sitting comfortably and we're getting a little confused and heated, but these athletes are of a different breed.
26 T-Breaks versus 17 Killer Sushi when we pick up again. 3:57 to go in the game. 107-88. And we see what Power Jams can do as far as scoring goes. So don't blink. And who you got, let us know on Twitch and various other places, social media today. Be sure to share this because we're really just getting started here with the Junior Roller Derby World Cup as the Sportsplex is rocking once again.
And I'm going to agree with a statement in our stream chat. Boswin is definitely improving. I've gotten to see them play at least once, and I'm already seeing a difference. So I can only imagine how exciting this is for Great Britain's team to watch these skaters develop. And we ourselves have watched a number of junior roller derby skaters develop as we go, and even saying goodbye to a couple this weekend for JRDA champs as some of our Jacksonville skaters have aged out.
Oh, okay. I was hearing a few chants in the background. What that is a team having a meeting right below is Team Canada. So, again,
Canada definitely keeping their spirits high with the stream I had with Death Nella. We definitely heard them doing a chant and a little dance going along with it, keeping up in good spirits. But what more can you expect from the A team?
That's right, EH, the A team. Canada versus Australia, set to come at 2:36 Eastern, 6:36 GMT.
And speaking of Canada, Death Nella will be doing that stream, I believe, with our own Gretchen.
Very good. Our resident international announcer for the weekend, Death Nella. Gretchen, of course, from practically here at the Sportsplex.
All right. Official timeout is done. And we are ready for some roller derby. Last 4 minutes of the game as Monowich
is not lead jammer. That goes to T-Breaks. And through, yes.
And this is a power jam as number 31 stands in the penalty box. Jammer is released, helmet cover in hand. Meanwhile, T-Breaks putting another 5 points on the board.
Every point counting, and you see it right here. 3:13 to go in the game, 1:15 in the jam, and just like that, a 9-point game. Check that, a 4-point game.
As we have another power jam for Great Britain. Didn't catch the penalty on Europe's jammer, but Great Britain, we may have a lead change here.
Ooh!
And then that happens.
Hasta la vista is the name of the skater. Called a track cut.
Europe's pivot going to the penalty box. Monowich standing in the penalty box, but that is the jam. So we will have a power start, but Europe calling for an official review.
And man, oh man, what a jam it was. 19 points in a tie game.
And that is the highest score of the jam for Great Britain. Amazing work. And Great Britain supporters lighting up the stream over here. Keep it coming.
And it's not over yet for any of these skaters, as you will see Great Britain again at 3:24 Eastern, 7:24 GMT against USA West, and at 5:48 Eastern, 9:48 GMT against Team USA East. Also, 7:24 Eastern, 11:24 GMT against Canada. So Great Britain fans, stay tuned. Europe, we will see again at 4:12 Eastern, 8:12 GMT against Canada, and also 6:36 Eastern, 10:36 GMT.
So while the official review comes in, thank you for letting us all know what you think on the stream. That's on twitch.tv/WFTDA. Let us know what you think and keep these positive vibes going to these young athletes. All right, official review coming in. Stand by. Gonna get that for us. And we want to thank those on the stream giving information to the streamers about how this game works. Stand by. What do we got?
Yeah, it appears that Yellow questioning the forearm call on Great Britain Jammer, and no call stands. Thank you, Deathnella.
Great Britain section definitely waving the Union Jack around.
8 versus 7, Traffic Jam, Killer Sushi, tie score, 2:22 to go in the game, 1:55 in the jam.
Now, I'm not sure about it, but I think this may be one of the first times I've seen Killer Sushi with the jammer cover on and gets the lead jam. I saw her doing some amazing work against Team USA earlier today and does so again against Europe in this tight game, 107 to 107, under 2 minutes left in the game.
Opposing
on the
jammer
clock.
Yes, opposing jammer free and into the pack hard.
And it looks like a low block on Great Britain's jammer. Yes, that is going to make this a power start for Europe. One of the skaters taking a rough hit. That looks like Duracell.
It was 72 Duracell blocker for Europe. So the power starts. No limit, Jamie.
No limit. This could be like the jam clock longer than the period clock, as No Limit gets the lead jam for Europe. Let's see what happens.
Well, a scoring pass happening on the inside. Skips and stays in bounds for 5 points. 1:16 now, 107. 1:35 to go in the jam, and the jam can last a full 2 minutes, depending on what the lead jammer would like to do with that time.
Well, Europe with the only timeout left, but Great Britain still has an official review. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, No Limit putting 5 more on the board.
And through a cut on No Limit. Giraffic Jam continues the jam. The jam will
go the whole 2 minutes with 1 minute left in the jam. 21 seconds left on the period clock. 1 minute left on the jam clock, and we will be going the whole 2 minutes.
That's right, barring an injury timeout or anything else happening, and Great Britain losing a blocker. Barring anything else happening, this will be the end of the game. 45 seconds to go, and there's a scoring pass as the jammer is standing. One jammer approaching, one standing, going the long way back into the engagement zone. You will see in about 5 seconds as Giraffic Jam continues to score 1 by 1, and the defense cranking it up to 11. Both jammers engaged.
Jammer take it to the inside. We have a forearm called. That's on Europe's pivot. Meanwhile, No Limit taken back behind the jammer line, but number 8, Giraffic Jam, taken back behind the pivot line. Both recycling. 8 seconds left. An amazing effort by Europe, but also on Britain. That's the jam. Oh, doctor, what did we just see?
14-10, net 4 for Europe, and it appears to be enough for the win. We will wait on the official count, but most likely that it was. Congratulations to Europe over Great Britain. Again, putting all those points on the board. This one of the more
closer
competitive
games.
Yes, more competitive games, more competitive matchups we've seen. Again, we will see both of these teams again against more skaters coming up, and congratulations all around on both sides. Excellent game played, and can't wait to see the matchups that we will see coming up as action continues all day long right here on Twitch. Same time, same channel. Victory lap.
Absolutely. 8-point difference between the two. Still not the official, but still very impressive considering Europe had such a lead. But we got to step off now because we got to make sure we're ahead of the curve on the second bout. I'm Tool Time, and joining me is
Stand by.
And we will catch you for the next game.